Someone is pretending they don't care, but you feel the shift. Have you felt it? That strange shift in their energy, even though they act like nothing changed. Someone is pretending they don't care, but you feel it. And your intuition isn't imagining things. You notice the pauses, the slight tension in their voice, the way they look away too quickly. On the surface, they seem calm, detached, maybe even colder than before. But underneath, something is moving, something they're trying very hard to control. You've probably asked yourself, if they don't care, why does it feel like this? That question keeps looping in your mind. Because when someone truly doesn't care, you feel clarity. It feels clean. But this doesn't feel clean. It feels charged, confusing, heavy. Psychology research suggests that when someone is suppressing feelings, their behavior becomes inconsistent. They try to appear neutral, but emotion leaks out in subtle ways. Micro-expressions, delayed responses, random mood shifts around you. They might pull back physically, but emotionally, they are still very aware of you. And here's the part most people miss. When someone pretends not to care, it's usually because caring feels dangerous to them. Caring means vulnerability. It means losing control. It means admitting you matter. So instead, they choose distance. They act indifferent. They become busy. They stop initiating. They respond slower. They talk like everything is casual now, but you feel the tension underneath their words. You feel the restraint. Have you noticed how they still watch you? Even if they don't message first anymore. Even if they don't ask directly about your life. And there's still awareness, still attention. Behavior experts notice that when someone is emotionally invested but afraid, they don't fully detach. They hover, quietly. Sometimes they test the waters. A random like, a subtle comment, a conversation that feels normal, but carries an emotional undercurrent. They want to see if you still care without exposing that they do. And that shift you feel? It's the internal battle happening inside them. Because pretending not to care takes effort. If someone truly felt nothing, they wouldn't need to act. There would be no performance, no emotional restraint, no awkward energy. Indifference is effortless. Suppression is exhausting. That's why you feel something different. You feel the tension in the silence, the weight behind their calmness, the way conversations feel slightly forced, as if they are choosing every word carefully. Here's where it gets deeper. Sometimes people pretend not to care because they think you don't care, or because they felt rejected, or because they're scared they feel more than you do. So they protect themselves first. Pride plays a role here too. No one wants to look vulnerable, especially if they're unsure about where they stand with you. So they act fine, but they're not fine. Studies show that emotional suppression doesn't erase feelings. It intensifies them internally. The more someone tries not to feel, the stronger it becomes under the surface. That's why you might sense emotional spikes, sudden coldness, sudden warmth, confusion. They're managing something they don't fully understand themselves, and you can see it in their eyes. When your presence changes their mood, and when your silence affects them. When they react to small things that shouldn't matter if they truly didn't care. You start realizing this isn't indifference, it's avoidance. There's a difference. Indifference feels distant and steady. Avoidance feels tense and reactive. And what you're feeling? It's reactive energy. Here's the twist. Sometimes the more someone pretends not to care, the more they actually do. Because caring without clarity is uncomfortable. If they don't know where they stand with you, their safest option feels like emotional withdrawal. Not because you don't matter, but because you matter too much. They might be waiting for a sign, waiting for reassurance, waiting for proof that they won't get hurt. But they don't want to ask, so they hide. You may notice they get quiet when you talk about other people. Or their tone shifts when you mention moving on. Or they suddenly become distant right after moments of closeness. That's not coincidence. That's emotional defense. When someone is pretending not to care, they often struggle privately. They replay conversations. They overthink what you meant. They wonder if you notice their change. They analyze your reactions. They want to look unaffected. But internally, they are anything but calm. And here's something important for you. Just because someone is fighting their feelings doesn't mean you have to chase clarity from them. Their internal battle is not your responsibility to solve. Your intuition picked up the shift because you're emotionally aware. Not because you're overthinking. You feel it because it's real. But don't confuse their hidden feelings with guaranteed action. Sometimes people feel deeply and still do nothing. Fear can be stronger than desire. So what happens next? If they continue pretending, the tension builds. Suppressed emotion eventually surfaces. It might come out as a confession, or jealousy, or sudden honesty, or even frustration. Or they may slowly soften, little by little, testing safety, opening in small pieces. But one thing is certain. You don't imagine emotional shifts. Your body reads energy before your mind understands it. Psychology research suggests humans are highly sensitive to subtle changes in tone, posture, and rhythm. That's why you just know something changed. Trust that awareness. At the same time, stay grounded. Someone pretending not to care often hopes you'll react strongly, that you'll chase, that you'll prove something. But the calmest response is emotional stability. When you don't panic, when you don't over-pursue, when you remain centered, that's when the dynamic shifts again. Because if they truly didn't care, your calmness wouldn't affect them. But if they do, your steadiness makes them think. It removes the game. It exposes their mask. And slowly, they realize pretending is heavier than honesty. Maybe they'll reach out differently. Maybe they'll admit something. Maybe they'll surprise you. Or maybe their silence will reveal that they're not ready for what they feel. Either way, you gain clarity. Because the truth is this: when someone pretends not to care, but you feel the shift, it means emotion is present. It doesn't mean love. It doesn't mean commitment. But it means something is unresolved. And unresolved emotions don't stay quiet forever. You don't need to force anything. Let their behavior reveal the truth over time. If this message resonated with you, comment, "I felt the shift." And if you want more insights into silent attraction and hidden feelings, subscribe and stay connected. Share this with someone who needs clarity today.